Baruch Hashem, shelo asani goy. Baruch Hashem that He didn't make me a goy, is what a person needs to say every single day, and with an intention to realize that the only way that you have a part of Am Yisrael is not if you were literally born a Jew, but if you're studying the Torah like a Jew. Why? Because that's what really connects us to make us Jews. That's what makes us Jews. There's plenty of people that are born to Jewish mothers, but unfortunately in Shamayim they're not considered Jews. They drive on Shabbat, they're married to Goyim, they eat like Goyim, anything that moves, and sometimes even if it doesn't move, we'll make it move and then eat it. They live like Goyim. And the reality is, Rabotai Karim, is what makes a Jew when he starts to learn on a regular basis Torah Yisrael that we've been learning for over 3,300 years on a daily basis. That's what makes a Jew a Jew. That is what makes a Jew a Jew. And because we're unique in that aspect. But this is also what puts us in danger on a day-to-day basis from the Goyim. Because Esav sonel Yaakov, even if he doesn't know why. Esav hates Yaakov, even if he doesn't know why. And Esav will do everything and anything possible in every generation throughout all of history to stop Am Yisrael from learning Torah. Why? That is the secret. That's the secret weapon. That's the secret weapon. Am Yisrael learns Torah, that's the secret weapon. Don't learn Torah, you're already killing yourself. And right now, Imach Shema v'zichram, these Goyim, they have a new gzerah which reminds us of what happened a couple of thousand years ago during the time of Chanukah, which in the number one place where the most amount of Jews live in the world outside of Israel is New York. More than any other place. Second to that is California. Then after that, I believe maybe it's Florida. But by far, New York supersedes everyone else. There's the most amount of yeshivot, most amount of Talmidei Chachamim, most religious communities. Of course, there are others that are similar outside of New York and New Jersey that have grown drastically. But the point is, everybody knows New York, there's Jews there. Some say there's over 1 million Russian Jews only. Just Russian Jews, not including everyone else. B'emet. I remember when I was in the insurance business, we would do advertising in Russian newspapers for specifically going after Jews because it was insurance for Israel. And many of the customers were Russian Jews. Get 15, 25 phone calls a day just from Russian Jews. The point is that the gzerah that we have right now, Hashem Yarachem Aleinu, and hopefully this gzerah, this decree will be cancelled, just like the decrees were cancelled in previous generations when we were meritorious enough. And the gzerah is that the Hashem put some Esav in power in the education department that decided, this woman decided, she has a very, very Christian Esav named Marie or Maria, put her in power in order to torture the Jewish people until they do tshuva. Why? Because she made a law now that's going to go into effect over the next 2.5 months, that starting in February, I believe, every yeshiva is obligated to teach 7 hours of secular non-Torah material. And they're not allowed to increase the hours of study. So let's say, for example, the kid goes to school for 9 hours. Until now, he was learning 9 hours of Torah, and some of it secular studies, some of it Torah, but mostly Torah. Even with that, we still in the yeshivot in New York, they still scored better than any of the public schools that learn nonsense all day. We still scored better in tests. Math tests, science tests, the regents that they have in New York, we still scored better, even though we don't learn secular studies all day. Why? Because it's just simply a better school. Better teaching, better systems. But the point is that this is not acceptable. They want us to learn 7 hours of Torah. 7 hours of secular studies. This is purely from Esav, and it's also by the hand of Hashem. How do we know? It doesn't make any sense. Logically, it doesn't make any sense. And the reason why is because if they wanted us to be like the public school, like the Goyim, they would tell us, listen, we don't want you to learn so much Torah, so learn 5 hours of secular studies and 4 hours of Torah. Why? Because that's what the public school teaches. The public school is 5 hours of secular studies, no Torah. No Torah, meaning you go to public school, you learn 5 hours. Meaning they want the yeshiva, that the whole point of going to yeshiva is to learn Torah, to learn more secular studies than the secular people. This is clearly the hand of Hashem telling us if we don't do tshuva, He's sending us Haman. It's not an exaggeration. It's not Yaron Reuven. It's Gemara, Masechet Sanhedrin. It's exactly what happened. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, all of Am Yisrael is going to do tshuva before Mashiach comes. But the Chachamim say, no, but we all know it's not going to happen. We all know there's going to be some people who don't do tshuva. He says, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, if they don't do tshuva, Hashem is going to make them do tshuva. How is he going to make them do tshuva? What, he's going to tell, please do tshuva, go to Shiur, Yaron Reuven, he's going to teach Yirat Shamayim. What is he going to do? No shurim. He's going to send us Haman, Hashem Yirachem. He's going to send us Hitler. Yimach Shemo v'zichro. Even more so at a time like this, when all of the Jews have been celebrating as if Mashiach came, because Donald Trump is in office. Oh, Dani is protecting the Jews. His daughter is a Jew. His son-in-law is a Jew. We're in good shape. Shem Yirachem, what shape we're in. We're in the worse shape today than we were when Osama bin Laden was in office. Because even when he was in office, we were still able to educate our kids the way we wanted. Without educating our kids, you have no right to be in this country. You're not allowed to be here. So what's going to happen, Rabotai Kareem, is what people are going to try to do. I'm going to tell you already. I'm not a Navi or the son of a Navi, but I can tell you already what people are going to try to do. First thing they're trying to do is they're trying to gather a bunch of money. Why? They're going to try to sue because they think that lawsuits are going to actually help them. They think that if they sue the government, call Donald Trump, make sure that a few people get greased, then we could change the decree, lower it, renegotiate, extend it. Instead of February, make it June. Instead of June, make it the next year. And that's what they're going to play games, the political games, because they think that's going to help them. They may succeed temporarily, but the decree came from Shamayim. The decree came from Shamayim, it's coming. So all the lawsuits and the millions of dollars they're going to raise are not going to help them. The other people, like the Satmars, that are very wealthy and care less about any government, whether it be Israel or America or anyone in between, they're simply going to continue doing what they're doing, which is their private schools are really private. What does it mean? No funding from the government. We don't care about you. We don't want your money. We have more than you. We don't owe China any money. So you go to Monsey, you go to the schools in Monsey in the Satmar, if you're part of Satmar, you go to schools over there, they're not worried at all. Why? We have our own schools. We have our own schools, we don't need the government's money, we don't like their money anyway, thank you very much, but no thank you. But how many of us can do that? So what's the step number 3? A few rabbis that are zealous and excited about Am Yisrael and the Torah and want to save, they're going to turn into their synagogues, their little synagogues that had 100 members, into a little school during the day. Without the funding of the government, but funding of the Keilah itself. Okay, you want to send your kid you can't send them to the school anymore. Why? Because if by February they're going to implement this, any school that doesn't follow the law and teach 7 hours of secular studies is going to get all funding taken away from it, and every single parent is going to get a letter that they have to remove their child from yeshiva. They're going to scare parents into taking the kid out of the yeshiva and sending him to public school. By threatening with all types of things, maybe they're going to take the kids away, to all types of nightmares, where anyone that knows the regulators, when it comes to kids, you don't want to mess with them. They'll take the kids. They have no problems taking people's kids. Many people don't know that in the time of the founding of Israel, the modern state of Israel, the Americans were buying children from Israel. The Zionist, communist, terrorists that were in power at the time, which unfortunately were born Jewish, they needed to get some money. So what do? They took a bunch of Yemenite kids and they sold them to Americans. So they could do experiments on them, or maybe adopt them. But most of the time experiments to kill them. Because you can't experiment on an American, because chas v'shalom, you killed the goy. You get sued. No, they don't care about the goy. They care about getting sued. But if no one knows you exist because you came from Israel, that's what they did. They took the kids from Israel, they bought them for a few dollars, and they did all types of experiments. Much of the medicine that they have advanced during those years was because they were the only ones able to do human experiments without anyone knowing it's human experiments. Because the kid doesn't exist. He's not in the system. He's from Israel. This is why these heartless people come to different people. Sometimes you go to, you're in a hospital and you hear parents in a panic. What happened? What happened? You ask them, what happened? Oh, my kid fell. Okay, so a kid fell in a hospital. Yeah, but now they want to take the kid. Why do they want to take your kid? The kid fell. What's the problem? No, the kid fell and they think I beat the kid up. Did you beat him up? No. You look at the kid. Kid didn't get beat up. No, but the government came here and they're not really sure whether I beat up the kid or I didn't beat up the kid, and they're telling me that they're going to take my kid away. And then you have to go into a legal battle for who knows how many years to fight for your own kid. This happened to a family in Muncie, actually. A family in Muncie, a Yemenite family, miskinim, poor people, 6 kids they took from them. 6 kids they took from them. There was a whole documentary about it. They documented the parents. Mamash, I cried the whole film. I saw the film. I'm crying the whole time. I'm watching this guy because they're just recording him, just regular. I'm watching the guy and I'm crying, hysterical, looking at this guy. Poor guy. He's trying to get his kids for years. Why? Because some cleaning lady or neighbor dropped one of the kids and the kid ended up dying. So they thought, no, you beat up your kids because we saw that one of your kids had a scratch on his arm and the other kid had a scratch on his leg. So you probably beat up your kids. Well, all kids have scratch on their arms and legs and they play. Shem Hashem. Rabotai Karim, this reminder from Hashem Yitbarach is a reminder that we're not home. Don't get so comfortable. Don't get so comfortable. If the Gzerah from Shamayim came during a presidency that every Jew almost celebrated, at least the righty, normal ones, everyone celebrated it. Oh, Donald Trump is in office. We're in good shape. And then we have a decree like this. Even if it gets canceled, it's definitely a warning shot from Shamayim. We all pray it's going to get canceled. But in reality, it's a warning shot from Shamayim that if we don't do tshuva, Rabotai, we are in serious, serious danger, no different than the Holocaust, no different than Bet HaMikdash, no different than Haman, no different than Nebuchadnezzar, no different. And those didn't start out so well. In the end, we were okay, we survived, but who wants to go through that?